Bring you a great show, bring you some things that people aren't talking about out there. We're going to talk about this so-called informant, better known as a spy from the FBI on the Trump campaign. Trump said that he was being spied on, he was being surveilled, and people laughed and tried to lie and said, well, he's not really being wiretapped. We don't wiretap anymore. They were lying. The FBI, the CIA, NSA, they were all lying. We do wiretaps. It's called surveillance. Any type of surveillance is referred to as a wiretap. Anyway, we're going to bring on Mr. Frank Venuico. We're going to get busy here. We're going to get right into it. Mr. Frank Venuico is the editor-in-chief of New York Analysis of Policy and Government. He's a talk show host and a TV host, has his own programs out there. We're going to talk about where you can find those in a few minutes. Hey, Frank, welcome to the show, man. It's always great to have you.
Charles, it's great to be with you.
Hey, look, so as we matriculate through this thing we call, have you ever seen so much stuff going on at one time? And, everybody says to me, I just want things to slow down. I want things to calm down. And I'm going, yeah, well, how can they calm down when you have the deep state trying to ruin a president? We have the deep state trying to take President Trump out. You had, now we know that Deep Throat took Nixon out because he had a beef with Nixon. Had nothing to do with anything except he didn't like Dick Nixon. I mean, a friend of mine said to me about Stormy Daniels, he said, well, Donald Trump should have vetted her better. I said, how can you vet someone better, or how can you vet someone when they decide to do something and they have no scruples, no morals, no shame, which a porn star doesn't by nature of the business. And, I said on the national airwaves that I wanted some of that business, Frank. Hello.
When you talk about so much going on, here's part of the problem.
What?
We've had 8 years of government moving in the wrong direction.
Uh-huh.
So in addition to trying to undo the damage, not just of the past 8 years, by the way, but I'd venture to say, even if you go back as far as the Clinton administration, some of the disastrous deals that the Clintons conducted, particularly with China, then you add to that the disastrous 8 years of the Obama administration and then a couple of mistakes that were made as well during the Bush administration, you have the current White House having to undo all of that damage as well as to move ahead with the business of the nation. And while all that is going on, you have this ridiculous assault on the results of the 2016 election by the deep state. That, Charles, presents us with a pretty full plate.
Yeah, it does, Frank. But the problem that I have with all of this is that these people did not elect President Trump. And, and this is how the left tries to play us. If you don't believe what I believe, then something is wrong with you. You have to be it's like if you're not black and you're not a Democrat, then you're the worst thing that ever lived. You're not an Uncle Tom. You're a traitor to the race. And I go, wait a minute. The traitor to the race is the person who supports these racist Democrats and their racist ass policies. They keep black folks in poverty. They keep black folks oppressed. They keep policemen shooting black folks in every major city that's run by a damn Democrat across the country. And you keep talking about you vote Democrat because you got a few black folks down here who collecting a damn check every 2 weeks. These black politicians ain't doing a damn thing for nobody. So, with that said,
well, if you want to talk about loyalty of the Democratic Party to black Americans, just take a look at what happens when a black politician or a black public figure leaves the Democrat left-wing plantation. If you happen to be Clarence Thomas running for the United States Supreme Court or being nominated for the United States Supreme Court, you see the left-wing machinery came out in droves to character assassinate him. During the Bush administration, when Condoleezza Rice, who of course was not only black but a female, two figures that are supposed to be beloved by the Democrats and the left, you saw the character assassination machinery come out again. The so-called loyalty of the black political machine to black Americans absolutely does not exist. It's only a way of keeping black folk on a plantation so that their votes are guaranteed for the Democrat Party.
Well, I mean, you look at somebody like a Jesse Jackson, a guy who was not a pastor, was not an ordained pastor, and hadn't been ordained, but was holding himself out as, and people held him out as a Reverend Jesse Jackson. They assumed he was a reverend because he was with Reverend Abernathy and Reverend Martin Luther King. So when I read this book on Jesse about, what was it called? Come on. What was that book called, Frank? It came out about 2002, 2003 on Jesse. And it was selling like hotcakes. It was a book that this guy wrote on Jesse. It told everything.
I do recall what you mean. The name escapes me totally.
Anyway, I mean, he was just such a shyster. What was it called? It was one title. Jesse Jackson. I'm going to put in here Jesse Jackson books, and maybe it'll come up. But look, so let's talk about this FBI informant for a minute. This guy, they put him in Trump's campaign, and he's supposed to be a Republican, and he's spying on Republicans. You know, it kind of reminds me of this. Mueller is a Republican. Guy pointed out to me today, a good buddy of mine pointed out to me today, that Mueller is a Republican, Rosenstein is a Republican, and they're going after Trump, and they couldn't possibly go after. How could this be a witch hunt if these Republicans are going after a Republican president? And I said, you need to understand, Donald Trump is not their kind of Republican. I am not a Mueller kind of Republican. I am not a Rosenstein kind of Republican. I'm not a Paul Ryan type of Republican. You know, I am a Tea Party Republican. I want people to go to Washington and represent conservative values and interests, not try to out-Democrat Democrats.
You're absolutely right, because you're seeing that in a couple of major issues that the Trump administration is producing. There has been a major confluence of agreement between Democrats and Republicans in the past, for example, on not confronting China, despite the fact that China was robbing Americans of jobs right, left, and center. When the Trump administration attacked China's unfair trade policies and it's stealing wholesale of jobs from American workers, well, that upset the leadership of both parties. But Trump is not the standard blue blood country club type of Republican that agreed with the Democrats on all the dirty deals and how they all personally profited from not doing anything about China's illegal trade activities. So clearly the Republican leadership dovetailed with the Democrat leadership in hating Donald Trump because he upset the apple cart that was making all of them rich.
They're making exactly right, Frank, making all of them rich. Therein lies it's like Chow, Secretary Chow, what's his name, McConnell's wife. I don't care what anyone says. Chow's daddy would not be in the shipping business if she was not the Secretary of Transportation and hadn't done these deals. Where do you get the money to go out and purchase shipping boats or shipping gear in these big shipping cargo ships? How do you get in that business? You know, I mean, you know, these people are still, you know, everybody's talking about Jared Kushner. Why isn't anyone talking about the $1 billion that Joe Biden's son got from the Chinese? Can you tell me that, Frank?
And you know, that was one of the most blatant pay for plays I've ever seen. Look, how is it that a middle class person, maybe an upper middle class person with a net value of, you know, maybe $100,000 or $200,000, gets elected to Congress, and 2 years later they're a multi-millionaire with assets all over the place? That's the apple cart that Donald Trump was disrupting, and that's why he doesn't have a lot of friends. And that's
on the Republican
why the bogus story of Russian collusion has come off as strong as it had, because normally party leadership would defend their own president. But in the case of Donald Trump, because he's upset the apple cart for everybody, that's not happening.
Well, this is the deal. Kerry's son, Biden's son, all struck billion-dollar deals with China. And nobody's talking. The media's not talking about that. All they can focus on is Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner. No, yeah. What about these people who are stealing? They are robbing us, have robbed us blind. And if the American people don't see this, Frank, then what? Everybody's talking about Democrat, Republican. We should vote for the person who's going to give us the best shot at being competitive again and making America great again. I look at the senator from West Virginia mentioned. He is going to get taken out. Why? Because he sides with the Democrats on key issues. I mean, Joe may be a nice guy, but he has to go. He has to go. And I think he's going to lose in his race in West Virginia. Did you know that Paul Ryan was being primaried?
No, I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, he's being primaried, and he is not happy about that.
Well, look, I mean, there has to be a shakeup in Washington, and that shakeup has occurred. You and I go back a long way in politics. We know for years people were talking about, wouldn't it be great if we had an independent take over the White House, someone who wasn't tied to the big shots in either party. And we heard this, by the way, from the media as well. Mm-hmm. Now we finally got an independent in the White House, and the media is doing everything possible to character assassinate the guy.
Well, they have to, because he does not fit the narrative. I have friends who say to me, they say things to me, well, he's not presidential. And I go, that's great, because we need someone who says what they mean and mean what they say. And when he speaks to the world and he says, if you mess with our citizens, if you interfere in our military operations, if you threaten our allies, if you infringe on our territories, we are going to defend ourselves. Not turn.
It reminds me of a comment I heard shortly after the president's election. Someone had said on another radio show that they were concerned because since the election of Donald Trump, people around the world are fearing the United States and what the Trump administration will do. And I said, that's great. Finally, that's what we want. We want people to worry about the power of the United States and start doing the things they should be doing because they're afraid of the United States. For too long, we've been the 90-pound weakling that's gotten sand kicked in its face all along as our jobs have fled overseas, as the post-World War II order, which prevented another major world war, has been eroding faster and faster. It's about time people of the world started worrying about what the President of the United States will do. Okay. That's a good thing.
Well, right now, breaking news, Frank, on Fox News, they say that the Inspector General is to examine any irregularities in Bob Mueller's Russia investigation. There are a number of irregularities. We have 22 people indicted. We have 5 people who pled guilty. They pled guilty to things that had nothing to do with Russian collusion. They're trying to bring charges against Cohen and say that he got a loan from a bank and he misused the funds. What does that have to do with Russian collusion? These people are going after any and everything they can to.
We have to understand. You're right. We have to understand what's going on here. When this investigation was stood on its head, when it turned out that the real person or people who were going to be affected detrimentally by the Russian investigation were not the Trump administration, but the folks who brought up the phony charge in the first place, the desperation has gotten to an extreme level, and the folks who are affected are going to be using every lever of power at their fingertips to prevent this from going forward and to protect their own rear ends. Look, how far does this go? Are we going to find out how many politicians have been paid off by the Clinton Foundation? How many politicians have been taking money from all sides to do things that are not in the best interest of the American people? When Trump got elected, and remember, the important thing about Trump was that he's not part of the old boy or old girl political network. He's his own man. He's made his money outside of politics. That's greatly concerning to those folks who have made their money inside politics. The guy is a bull in a china shop, and a lot of the dirty dealings that the politicians have been doing for a long time is starting to get exposed. They're terrified by that. They never expected Hillary Clinton to lose that election.
Okay.
So the FBI and the CIA felt free to break whatever rules they had to make sure that he didn't get elected. When it didn't work, they found themselves in deep, deep trouble.
Well, remember this. remember this, Frank. We all were kind of baffled and dumbfounded when we learned that Hillary Clinton called Barack Obama and apologized. She said, "I'm sorry for losing the election. I'm sorry." And we kind of go, "That's a strange response." Did we not? Did we not say, we talked about that? That was a strange, that's a strange response. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? For losing? Why would you be sorry for losing the election? Well, we now know why she was sorry. Because Frank, that's going to bring up a whole can of worms for a whole lot of people. Hey, look, I'll be right back with Mr. Frank Venuico. We'll be talking about the Pope and this Pope who's under fire for his comments on homosexuality. We'll be right back.
Red State Talk Radio is now available as a voice command on your Amazon Echo and Echo Dot by simply saying, "Alexa, play Red State Talk Radio."
Red State Talk Radio on TuneIn.
Turn to every single American. Now, we've been hearing all these stories about sanctuary cities.
You can now find us on the Amazon Echo and Echo Dot, on TuneIn, on iHeartRadio, and we also have the phone apps in the App Store for your particular phone. And just in case we activated your Echo Dot, Alexa, stop.
Hi, you want to end those expensive cable bills for good? At VIP TV, we offer unlimited HD quality streaming of over 900 channels on 5 devices at the same time for $39 a month on a pay-as-you-go basis. You can watch it on your big TV with Amazon Fire Stick or TV, Roku, Comcast, Android, gaming consoles, as well as laptops and tablets. You can use an HDMI cable to connect PC to the TV or smart TV via Wi-Fi. Once you've enjoyed the benefits of VIP TV, you can sign up for the service as a customer or business partner with a customized website, $39 or $59 a month. Visit orderviptv.com/the reality check. That's orderviptv.com/the reality check. Any questions, just email us at therealitycheckviptv@gmail.com. Stop wasting time and money and sign up now. Cancel cable for good.
Hey, this is Leonora Cravota from Red State Talk Radio for My Pillow. I used to have trouble sleeping. My Pillow changed all that. I now fall asleep within moments of my head touching my pillow. That's how comfortable My Pillow is with its patented interlocking fill. My Pillow stays cool and does not go flat. Plus, it's machine washable and dryable. My Pillow has a 10-year warranty and a 60-day comfort guarantee. My Pillow is also the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation, and it's made right here in the USA. My Pillow is now offering Red State Talk Radio listeners a 4-pack special with 2 premium standard or queen pillows and 2 go anywhere pillows. That's 4 pillows for the price of 1. To take advantage of this special offer, call 1-800-961-9194 and ask for promo code Red State. That's 1-800-961-9194, promo code Red State. Put sleepless nights behind you with My Pillow, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, MyPillow.com.
Charles Butler. We're talking about, we're going to talk a little bit about the Pope now. And, Pope Francis is going to create such a rift. It has created, I should say, not going to. He's created such a rift in the Catholic Church that even non-Catholics like myself are saying, this guy has to go. This guy has some real issues when it comes to morality and when it comes to morality in a sexual sense. People try to act like God accepts homosexuality. It's very clear in the Bible, throughout the Bible, that he doesn't. So whether it's the Pope, whether it's Reverend William Barber, who I talked about leading the Poor People's campaign in Washington, and all these people are trying to do this revisionist thing on homosexuality. The bottom line is homosexuality is immoral. Bottom line. So the Pope has created this controversy when he appointed a new bishop in Chile, and this was a bishop, and the people protested this bishop being promoted because he had witnessed and failed to report sexual abuse by another priest decades earlier. And the Pope said, and he was caught on the video this year, dismissing the protesters as foolish and urging them not to be led by the nose by the leftists. I mean, who does this guy think he... See, that's what the Catholics get for electing a poor Pope. I mean, this is a guy who's supposed to have been poor and humble. He's not Pope John Paul. Pope John Paul was a man that I respected and loved as a non-Catholic, and I think the world did. Frank, you're a Catholic. Tell me, what are your feelings about this Pope?
Well, I am a practicing Roman Catholic, so hold those cards, letters, and emails. This is possibly the Pope who can tear the Catholic Church apart, create a brand new schism. It's one thing to talk about his views on morality, whether you agree with them or not, but this Pope has ventured headfirst into the world of politics. He lectures on economics. He lectures on climate change. He lectures on a whole host of things that the man has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. And based on his comments, based on his encyclicals, based on his speeches, which I've read and observed, he doesn't do any research. He simply makes comments off the cuff without doing any of the appropriate research. The rumors one hears from inside the Vatican is that he doesn't really like to hear or read contrary opinions. He's a man who comes from a political culture that's leftist, that's biased in its own way, and that's okay. Everyone has their own biases. You can't help that. But if you're going to be in a leadership position, particularly in a religious leadership position, you have the obligation to listen to alternative points of view and to not speak about things which, quite frankly, you are profoundly ignorant about. And the best that can be said about this Pope is that he speaks often on subjects into which he is profoundly ignorant. And that's an irresponsible thing to do, whether you're the leader of a country, the leader of a religion, or the leader of a press organization. He has committed the most grievous sin of ignorance.
Wow. I think this is going to be, and he could create the biggest schism since the Church of England was created back under King Henry VIII. That's what some people are saying. That's what I'm reading here, and I tell you,
Martin Luther tacked a couple of notices on a church door. Someone needs to tack some notices onto the front door of the papal residence of this Pope and say, read and research before you speak. The profound ignorance of this Pope is harming the church, and frankly, it's harming the Western nations of the world as well.
Well, what about the African nations? Because, see, the African nations are trying to practice Catholicism and Christianity in the true religious sense. They don't recognize same-sex marriages. They don't give communion to divorced people. And this Pope, and the fastest growing segment of Catholics or Catholicism is in Africa right now. And, one of the things that this Pope has engaged in when you talk about politics is the issue of immigration. And I go, well, why doesn't, if the Pope is so interested in letting immigrants into America, why doesn't he open the doors to the Vatican and let the Africans who are crossing the Mediterranean just come to the Vatican and we'll take care of you?
Because the essence of leftward thinking is that it's good for you, but not for me. Do as I say, not as I do. And the Pope, of course, is part of that whole milieu. When you mention about the Catholic Church in Africa, you're bringing up a really important point, because the fact is, as the future of the Catholic Church is to a great extent in Africa, he is violating the very principles that have attracted converts to the Catholic Church on that continent.
Well, that's true. I remember when Barack Obama was pushing his homosexual agenda, he flew to Africa and he met with African leaders. And he said to them, if you don't accept homosexuality and same-sex marriage, we're going to cut American aid to your countries. And to a person and to a country, they looked Mr. Obama in the eye and said, then that's what you need to do. We do not accept homosexuality in our countries. We are not going to hell for a few dollars. And, and that's what people don't get. When I talk to people about, for me, I don't, it's kind of like a drug addict. And I use that analogy all the time because, people can be drug addicts. I love them. I don't, necessarily, you can't trust drug addicts, of course, because they steal from you. They have to fund their habit. They can't work because they're drug addicts. But so you have to live with that thought that, hey, I don't hate anybody. I don't purposely go around and discriminate against anyone or want their life to be any different than it is. But at the same time, I can't condone that behavior. I just, it's just not how I was raised, and I'm not going to. And and in the way that I was raised, Frank, and the environment that I came out of, you had to make decisions about people. Everybody, it's like, I'm gonna switch gears on you right quick and jump to Starbucks and this Starbucks policy. It's really interesting when Starbucks came out yesterday and said, well, we're going to welcome people into our stores, and you don't have to buy anything. You can sit in our stores and stay warm and listen to music and use the bathroom. And I'm going, I don't think I'll be going to many Starbucks anytime soon. Because there'll be all kinds of homeless people in there, and it's true. I go to a Starbucks.
And I venture to say that Starbucks customers are not going to want to be using those bathrooms anytime soon because they're going to be, frankly, a mess if they become essentially bathrooms for the homeless, which is exactly what was going to happen.
Well, they will be, and I can tell you a perfect example. I'm thinking right now, and I'm visualizing a Starbucks on Clybourne and Division. And it's an area in transition. It used to be Cabrini Green. They still have a lot of homeless people over there. Still have a lot of indigent people over there. And they're going to get a lot of these. See, and this is the thing about liberals. See, this is the thing I love about liberals. Frank, you remember I used to always open my show by saying, liberalism seems to be related to a person's distance from the problem. Well, this is the perfect case of that, Frank, in that once these homeless people start coming into these Starbucks, mingling with these folks, they'll get the message. Hey, Frank, do you have to go, or are you going to stick around, or what's going on?
Unfortunately, I do have another one actually in 10 minutes, so I have to leave.
Okay.
But it was great speaking with you, and I look forward to our next conversation.
No question. Take care, bro. Bye-bye.
Take care.
You too. Okay, folks, we'll be right back. Gonna pick up with this Starbucks thing, and we're gonna talk about this judge calling blacks. Hi, you want to end those expensive cable bills for good? At VIP TV, we offer unlimited HD quality streaming of over 900 channels on 5 devices at the same time for $39 a month on a pay-as-you-go basis. You can watch it on your big TV with Amazon Fire Stick or TV, Roku, Comcast, Android, gaming consoles, as well as laptops and tablets. You can use an HDMI cable to connect PC to the TV or smart TV via Wi-Fi. Once you've enjoyed the benefits of VIP TV, you can sign up for the service as a customer or business partner with a customized website, $39 or $59 a month. Visit orderviptv.com/the reality check. That's orderviptv.com/the reality check. Any questions, just email us at therealitycheckviptv@gmail.com. Stop wasting time and money and sign up now. Cancel cable for good. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to the reality check with Charles Butler. When I talk about the judicial system, I talk about the racism in the system. I don't just say these things because I'm black. I don't say these things without experience. I don't say these things without having done my homework. I don't say these things because somehow I feel it's anecdotal. It's not. My experiences aren't anecdotal. I can tell you about any. I can go out and interview any 100,000, 10,000 black men in America who've been pulled over and stopped by police because they're black. No other reason. And had guns pulled on them. I've had guns pulled on me on traffic stops, and the cop never said a word to me, just walked up to my car with his gun pulled out because I'm black in a nice car. So I must be a drug dealer. Why is this cop still on the force? And if you're not a real cop, if you're not out there handling your business, if you can't take a person down without shooting them, then why in the hell are you on a police department? And these women, what woman should be on the streets dealing with men? Not many can do that, period. And then you see these women cops who are like 4'11", 120 pounds maybe. And what are they going to do with the guy that doesn't respond to their order besides taser them or shoot the hell out of them? Okay? Especially if the guy's upset and agitated. I would if I was like 5'2" and a dude's 6'2". I'm like, you know what? Bam. Let's end this, okay? Call the ambulance. And believe me, that happens more often than not. See, they won't do studies breaking down how many women police officers. And, this is the thing about women cops. I think the women cops have more guts than these men cops out here. These chicks, they go out and they do their job. They're just not physically strong enough or capable enough to do the job a different way, in my opinion. So anyway, I want to talk about this Miami judge. Let's talk about Miami because, I always talk about Miami and how racist Miami is against Anglos. And I'm going to put in that Anglos and blacks. Anglos mean white. Blacks mean black people, okay? These Latinos in Miami are shooting black folks like 40 going north, and nobody's saying anything about it. It's like sport. Let's shoot a nigga. I'm serious. And nobody says anything because these black people down south are brainwashed. All that Martin Luther King bullshit. I'm tired of it. I don't know about you, but I am tired of Martin Luther King and that turn the other cheek crap. People only understand one thing and one thing only, and that's a position of strength. And if you have some skin in the game, if you think I'm going to punch you back, you're not going to throw that first punch. Now, me, I'm going to tell you right now, you confront me, and I'm in a position and I know that we're not getting, we're not going to leave this situation without a physical altercation, I'm throwing the first punch. Because he who throws the first punch probably lives to throw another punch. That's what happens when you're a big boy, not when you're on the schoolyard playing and all these women getting involved in men's business. Well, you threw the first punch. Well, hell yeah, I threw the first punch. Stupid. That's what you get when you get women in men's business. They don't know a damn thing about being a man and what men do. I'm just telling the truth. I'm not sugarcoating anything. And you guys out there who think that somehow, women are your equal in the streets, they may be because you're a punk. But I can tell you right now, I know some chicks that will whoop your behind if you don't act out and check them. Look, getting back to this judge. This Miami judge, he faces suspension, and he faces suspension for using an Italian slur to describe an African-American defendant. He called the defendant Mulignan. Mulignan means eggplant in Italian, but it's a slur for the N-word. So the Miami Herald reported this and citing a report from the state's Judicial Qualifications Commission. The panel said that Milan should be suspended for 38 days and fined $5,000 for an incident, and Milan agreed to the terms. The Supreme Court must now approve his suspension. The word in question was Mulignan. It's an Italian term for eggplant. I just said that. And it's also a term used for people of African descent. Now, it's a Sicilian term. Now, you have to remember the Sicilians are considered black by Italians. They're very dark-skinned people, like Lucky Luciano. They're dark-skinned Italians. They have that African blood, that Moorish blood, that. And those women are so gorgeous down there in Sicily. Oh, my God. But anyway, Italian women are gorgeous, period, if you ask me. But Milan, this judge, was elected in 2014, so he's a fairly new judge, and he was placed in charge of the criminal division in Miami-Dade Circuit Court. He was formerly a lawyer who handled immigration and criminal defense and bankruptcy cases, so he was working his behind off, whatever he could get. He's glad to become a judge so he'd have to work so hard. He was accused of using this racial slur, discussing a case with an attorney in October of 2016. Milan told the investigators he didn't remember using the word, but said he had no reason to believe the allegation is false. I have no reason to believe that I used the word, but the allegation may not be false because, I'm a New York native and I've used the word intermittently as growing up as a kid. No, you've used the word your whole life, not as a kid, as an adult, as an attorney, in dealing with the guy who washes your car, who you meet in the store, or a person like me who's not benevolent or not paternalistic or not or will not let you condescend to him. That's who you call a Mulignan. I get it. Not like I haven't been called that word either. And then, you have to use the word WAP now, for the Italians, without papers, WAP. Not as virulent as that N-word, but, Frank Sinatra, he hated the word WAP. Anyway, and he hated the N-word. He's an interesting guy, even though he used Mulignan. But I still love Frank. Frank's my guy. But Milan was overheard in a 2017 conversation telling another lawyer he didn't trust leaving his wallet in the courtroom with those thugs, meaning these black people who were there supporting a defendant. To use racially derogatory and demeaning language to describe litigants, criminal defendants, or members of the public, even behind closed doors or during off-the-record conversation, erodes public confidence in a fair and impartial judiciary, said Judge Christina Marks, who wrote the commission's report. Milan is now overseeing juvenile cases. So when he sees a Mulignan that comes into his courtroom who's a juvenile, What kind of chance you think he has of a fair trial or a fair hearing? Just said things that make you go, why is this guy still a judge? Can't they find someone else with his fat behind? Look at the guy. Here he is, fat jaws, Italian, who thinks he's better than the Mulignans. Everybody comes to this country and think they're better than the Mulignans. Okay. All right. Hey, but this is a good story. This is a great story here. The White House, man, I love Trump. I ain't gonna lie to you. He triples down on calling MS-13 animals. And this is a printout from the White House. I got this offline from the White House. And it says here, what you need to know about the violent animals. And it's a 3-minute read, so I'm going to read it real quick. It says, the violent animals of MS-13 have committed heinous crimes, violent attacks in communities across the country. Too many innocent Americans have fallen victim to the unthinkable violence of MS-13 animals. At the State of the Union in January 2018, President Trump brought his guests, Elizabeth Alvarado, Robert Mickens, Evelyn Rodriguez, and Freddie Cuveras, the parents of Nisha Mickens and Kyla Chiveras. Police believe these young girls were chased down and brutally murdered by MS-13 gang members on Long Island, New York in 2016. Suffolk County Police Commissioner stated that the murders show a level of brutality that is close to unmatched. No, it's not close to unmatched. It is unmatched. And we need to hunt down MS-13 gang members and assassinate them. Now, MS-13 may come after me for saying that, but they can. I can only guarantee one thing. If they decided to come after me, that all of them won't go home. So you can come after me, and you may get me. But what you have to decide is it worth it? Are you going to be the one not going home? Because I intend to take a few of you with me. But see, that's the way that cowards do. There's no imano anymore, any man to man. These guys come at you and they say, well, I have a gat and you don't. And they're serious as a fucking heart attack, okay? Excuse my language. I got to beep that out. Beep, beep. They're serious as a heart attack. So in Maryland, MS-13 animals are accused of stabbing a man more than 100 times, then decapitating him, dismembering him, and ripping his heart out of his body. Police believe MS-13 members in Maryland also savagely beat a 15-year-old human trafficking victim. The MS-13 animals used a bat and took turns beating her nearly 30 times in total. Lord have mercy. In Houston, Texas, come back, talk a little bit more about these MS-13 animals, who they are, what they're doing. And you can pick this up at the WhiteHouse.org. We'll be right back. Listen to this commercial. Thanks.
Red State Talk Radio is now available as a voice command on your Amazon Echo and Echo Dot by simply saying, Alexa, play Red State Talk Radio.
Red State Talk Radio on TuneIn.
Concern to every single American. Now, we've been hearing all these stories about sanctuary cities that
You can now find us on the Amazon Echo and Echo Dot, on TuneIn, on iHeartRadio, and we also have the phone apps in the App Store for your particular phone. And just in case we activated your Echo Dot, Alexa, stop.
Hi, you want to end those expensive cable bills for good? At VIP TV, we offer unlimited HD quality streaming of over 900 channels on 5 devices at the same time for $39 a month on a pay-as-you-go basis. You can watch it on your big TV with Amazon Fire Stick or TV, Roku, Comcast, Android, gaming consoles, as well as laptops and tablets. You can use an HDMI cable to connect PC to the TV or smart TV via Wi-Fi. Once you've enjoyed the benefits of VIP TV, you can sign up for the service as a customer or business partner with a customized website, $39 or $59 a month. Visit orderviptv.com/The Reality Check. That's orderviptv.com/The Reality Check. Any questions, just email us at therealitycheckviptv@gmail.com. Stop wasting time and money and sign up now. Cancel cable for good.
Hey, this is Leonora Cravota from Red State Talk Radio for My Pillow. I used to have trouble sleeping. My Pillow changed all that. I now fall asleep within moments of my head touching my pillow. That's how comfortable My Pillow is with its patented interlocking fill. My Pillow stays cool and does not go flat. Plus, it's machine washable and dryable. My Pillow has a 10-year warranty and a 60-day comfort guarantee. My Pillow is also the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation, and it's made right here in the USA. My Pillow is now offering Red State Talk Radio listeners a 4-pack special with 2 premium standard or queen pillows and 2 go anywhere pillows. That's 4 pillows for the price of 1. To take advantage of this special offer, call 1-800-961-9194 and ask for promo code Red State. That's 1-800-961-9194, promo code Red State. Put sleepless nights behind you with My Pillow, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole world.
Usually I do 2 hours, 3 hours in a show, and we could cover a lot of different topics more in depth than we do. But look, I'm going back to this MS-13 article that's out on the White House website. And for those of you who don't know how to get to the White House website, it's whitehouse.gov. And this particular article is under Law and Justice. Law and Justice. If you go to Law and Justice, it will be under there, and it's what you need to know about the violent animals of MS-13. I love the fact Trump just bam. Oh, he called immigrants animals. You're lying. The president did not call immigrants animals. He called MS-13 animals. And if you want to say that immigrants are animals, then maybe you're projecting. That's what I would say. Anyway, let's get back to this piece. I want to read it to you. In Houston, Texas, 2 MS-13 members were charged after kidnapping and sexually assaulting one girl and murdering another. The 2 MS-13 animals laugh, smile, and wave for cameras in court as they face charges. Well, if they need to be tied down and castrated by someone, like a guard, baby, am I? Laugh this off, chomp. New York communities have suffered tremendously from the inherent violence of MS-13. Nearly 40% of all murders in Suffolk County, New York, between January 2016 and June of 2017 were tied to the MS-13 gang. 40%, folks, almost half. Okay, January 2017, MS-13 gang members were charged in killing and hacking up a teen in Nassau County. MS-13 animals reportedly saw the murder as a way to boost their standing in the gang. In April 2017, police believe 4 young men were brutally murdered by MS-13 animals on Long Island. One victim was a young man in town visiting family during an Easter week vacation. Just last month, in April of 2018, MS-13 reportedly called for its members on Long Island to kill a cop for the sake of making a statement. And these cops aren't out assassinating these MS-13 gang members. They're terrorists. They should be treated like terrorists, not criminals. They're terrorists. MS-13 is a transnational gang. Let's say why MS-13? It's a transnational gang which follows the motto, kill, rape, control, by committing shocking acts of violence in an attempt to instill fear and gain control. No one's afraid of you, MS-13. Look in my eyes. Do you think I'm afraid of you? I will never be afraid of you. You should be afraid of me, because if I ever became lawless, I would hunt you all down. I would do to you what you do to others. And that's what needs to happen in this country. We are far too civil with criminals. We are far too civil with terrorists. We refuse to acknowledge that there are bad people. I get tired of these damn liberals talking about taking our guns so that we can be protected by the police. The police can't be everywhere. Like this moron who was on Tucker Carlson's show yesterday talking about how we need to take all guns away like Germany and lock up our guns. And if you want a gun, you can have it at a gun club. And this is what I say to him. Go to Hades. And I hope that your family's in a situation where your gun is at a gun club and see what happens with your dumb ass. Just dumb and stupid and cowardice. I can't even remember the guy's name. I wish I could. I'm going to look it up, though, because he needs to be called out, and he needs to be called out and driven out of office. The gang has more than 10,000 members in the U.S. spreading violence and suffering. Recent investigations have revealed that MS-13 gang members based in El Salvador have been sending representatives into the United States illegally to connect leaders to local gang members. These foreign-based gang leaders direct local members to become even more violent in an effort to control more territory. President Trump's entire administration is working tirelessly to bring these violent animals to justice, where there is no justice for them except being cremated. I would even give them a funeral. Cremate them. Okay, we're going to talk about something that I had a young man tell me that my experience with police and my being stopped and guns pulled on me was anecdotal. This white boy had the nerve to say that to me. And I told him if he were here, I would punch him square in the nose because he called me a liar. And I'd punch him square in the nose. You know, let him taste his blood. I mean, these people, you know, they think they can get away with saying anything to you because they think it, well, you know, some things you need to keep to your mouth. You're not a chick. So this video of the police tasing a Milwaukee Bucks rookie. So you know he was driving a nice car. He's an NBA player. These cops pull him over and they taser him. And the mayor of the city, a guy named Tom Barrett, says that the officers in the video tasing Sterling Brown, who did not appear to be provocative at all, is going to create a problem. He said, this is what the mayor says, I'm going to let the release of the video speak for itself. But yes, I definitely have concerns after watching this video. And he also said that Police Chief Alfonso Morales felt similarly. The body cam video, here we go again, cameras, catching these guys on camera, shows that the NBA player, Mr. Brown, does not appear to be provocative at all before the officers use a stun gun on him. They think it's funny. The mayor says this could be bad. So Brown, then 22 and now 21, was arrested. See, that's what they have to do. They have to arrest you so that they can show that, oh yeah, we had grounds to taser you because we just arrested you. Well, I got about 30 seconds here. Go read the story. Story's on Fox News right now. So check it out. But you know, we love being here. We love you. Tell the folks about us. We're doing what we do right here on Red State Talk Radio. So tune us in. This video is real bad. Take care. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, with Mike. We're going to have Mike Doherty with us. So anyway, we're off the air now on Red State, but we're still broadcasting because that's what we do. We do a little extra here and try to keep it real and just do a little extra after the show kind of debriefing. So this young man, Mr. Brown, the basketball player, they say the video has been shown to a few local officials and Bucks teams officials, though the team declined comment for the Journal. The assistant police chief referred to the video during a speech at a church on Sunday during the city's ceasefire Sabbath. He said, there's going to be a video that's coming out soon in the next couple of weeks involving the department. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to need your support during during the challenges. The incident will no doubt stir memories of the April 2015 conflict between Atlanta Hawks players Thabo Felicia and the New York Police Department that left Felicia with a season-ending leg fracture. Last year, Felicia was acquitted of criminal charges in the fracas outside of a nightclub in Manhattan and received a reported $4 million settlement in a countersuit against the city. Brown signed with the Bucks right out of SMU as part of a deal with the 76ers, who selected him 46th overall. That's what happens when you're black and you're in America. You can lose your life on the traffic stop with these damn racist cops. These cops need to be held accountable. I hope these cops lose their job. Not that they're misunderstood. They're bullies, and they think that they can bully you because they don't have your money, but we have power. And nigga, you need to learn your place. Don't think for one iota that you're not a nigger in America. See, that's how they make you feel. I remember when I was a naval officer, and I was proud to serve my country, proud to wear my uniform, and I always had some white boy, some white cop messing with me. Now, when I was in an airport, we had the black uniforms, and we used to have as an officer, you had a little gold stripe on your sleeve, and you had a gold braid on your hat. And people would walk up to me and hand me their suitcases. Well, that happened a couple of times, and I was embarrassed and hurt. So when it used to happen, when I would wear my uniform home, I would walk over. In those days, they had lockers in the, in the airport. And so I'd say to the people, well, what gate are you departing from? Where are you going to? And I'd walk right over to a locker, put their things in a locker, put the quarter in, turn the key, and throw the key in the trash can. I was telling a guy the other day a story that I hadn't forgotten. Just hadn't thought about it in a while. I was in Detroit. It's home on leave. And I came out of this upscale condo building, and this guy pulled up in this Cadillac. And he said, hey, man, park my car up front here for me, would you? I said, sure. So, the guy threw me his keys, so I opened the door and let his wife out. And somebody was in the back seat. I let them out. And I ran around. As I walked around the car, he handed me a couple of bucks, and I got in the car, and I drove the car into Northland parking shopping center, which was next door. And Northland has this, they had parking upstairs, and then they have a parking garage down underneath. And I drove the car down underneath and parked it, locked the keys inside, and walked back to my car. And I don't know what happened after that. But I can tell you this, I felt good. Because this guy had embarrassed me. He'd hurt me. Thinking that I was parking a car. Here I am, a Michigan graduate, a naval officer. And he thinks because I'm black that I must be working there and I must be parking cars. I love it. Hey, man, I'm just saying. People, oh, well, he made a mistake. Yeah, he did. Gave me his keys. Did make a mistake. Sorry. Hey, look, we are going to, we talked about the Pope today, and how he's splitting the Catholic Church, and I think there's going to be some schism. Donald Trump on North Korea said if it doesn't happen, maybe it'll happen later. If it doesn't happen June 12th. Well, June 12th is right around the corner. I mean, we only have a few days. Let's see, this is the 22nd, so you got what about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before this thing pops off, 3 weeks at the most. It's going to be interesting. Don't know, but I'm sure that Kim Jong-un has heard from China, and they've said, hold up, young man. We got your back. We got your back. That's China, man. We got your back. Hey, but look, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being out there. We're going to end the show and put it up online for you to review. So thank you. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. We're going to have Mike Daugherty with us. And don't know what Mike's going to be talking about right now. I kind of forgot, but it's going to be interesting. I can tell you that, or I wouldn't have booked him. He's a great guy. And we'll be here at 2 o'clock Eastern. Thanks again. Shoving off, Charles Butler. And I think what we'll do is we'll play a little music on the way out if I can get the good night, folks. Have a good one. Have a great day.